Oh, okay. Hey, everybody. I got flour on my face. That's on this side. So today is National. Wait, there, is it my glasses? Today is National Pie Day, and I was going to make a cake, but today we are going to make a peach cobbler. This is my day. I love pies and candy. That is me. I'm not a big cookie cake person, so this is my day. So I was going to make a cake, but I'm like, no, we're going to celebrate National Pie Day. So we are going to be making a peach pie. Now, the reason why I'm saying peach pie and not peach cobbler is because there is a difference between a pie and a cobbler. So the difference is, take note, the difference between a pie and a cobbler is, number one, your pie is fully encased. That means that it has a top crust and a bottom crust. That means that a lot of us have been deceived over the years calling a peach cobbler a cobbler when indeed it was a pie. The cobbler, on the other hand, has that biscuit topping, and it does not have a bottom crust to it. So that is the difference between a pie and a cobbler. A cobbler has a biscuit top, and a pie is fully encased with that amazing pie crust that we know so well and that we're going to make today. So how do we get started? The first thing, let's talk about crust. There are so many different types of pastry crusts out there, more than what I can name. I know patisserie, I know just your regular traditional, your southern, blah, blah, blah. There's a lot. I'm going to be making a basic pie crust. That means that I have fat, flour, and water. That is what I'm going to be using. Nothing fancy, no egg yolks and all that. You do that for color and tenderness and richness, but we're going to be able to achieve that same texture with the richness and all that by using butter. I use straight butter and ice cold water, and the technique of not over mixing our dough, creating gluten to form and making it hard like a hockey puck. We are not going to do that. So the first thing you may notice is that I have on gloves. And the reason why I'm wearing gloves to make the crust is not to keep my hands clean, but yes, to keep them clean, but not so much, is because I am a warm-hearted person, which makes my hands always warm. And whenever you are making any type of crust, you always want to keep it cold as possible. So earlier, I just took my glass bowl out of the refrigerator, and sometimes I set it in the freezer, and sometimes I use a metal bowl too, because it holds coldness really well. And I froze my butter. Sometimes I even put my flour in the bowl, cover it so that it does not get any moisture in it from the refrigerator or the freezer, and I'll set it all in there just so that everything stays cold. Now, when you are handling your pie crust, you almost want to treat a pie crust the same as you would a biscuit, right? Like, you don't want to overwork it. You just want it to really just come together, although a crust will be more together than a biscuit, but you really want to keep your eye on it. This is all about the eye and not so much about the ingredients. This recipe can be cut in half. I want a little bit more just in case I want to put some decoration on the top of my pie, or use a lattice top, or if you want, I always say have more than less, because it's just time consuming going back and making more. So let's get started. In my bowl, I have 3 cups of flour and 2.5 sticks of frozen butter. I'm bringing out my knuckle buster, and this is where I probably differ from a lot of people. I like to grate my butter in, so that way it saves me a little bit of time. But with doing this, it also gives me a lot of room for error with my butter becoming warm quicker than what I can actually get it mixed into the flour. So you have to move quickly if you do this. Now you can cut it up into small pieces. This also saves my risk from for later and not having carpal tunnel act up on me a little bit. So this is my lifesaver. So I'm just grating this butter up into my flour, and I'm holding this up. I don't know why. I don't want that butter to actually go back into the grater. So holding it up is actually probably my best bet. Now I like to go straight into the flour with my butter, and the reason being is I'm not touching it any more than what I have to. Okay, so we just keep grating it. This is probably like the longest process of this whole thing, but I'm telling you, it saves your hands in the end, and that's what I am trying to do right here. Save my hands so that I don't regret it later. Now, when you are making a pie crust, it is okay, and it is actually perfect for you to see flakes of your fat, as long as they are very small flakes and they are covered totally with your dough that you're going to be making. That is the most important part of making a pie crust. You want to see a few flakes. If you don't see any flakes, unless you're using a mixer or a food processor, if you don't see any flakes in your pie crust, if you're doing it by hand, that really means that you overdid it. Okay? That means that you overdid it. Okay? All right. Now that we have all of our butter in here, what we're going to do is make sure that each one of these flakes of butter are covered. So I am going to go in, and you can see already I'm looking for a sandy type going in, and that's the end piece of my butter. There we go. And that is it. Now, to this, I'm going to add a little bit of sugar. And I just add a little bit, probably about a tablespoon or so of sugar to mine. And I'm also going to add a tablespoon of pink Himalayan salt because I am using unsalted butter, which gives you room to add your own, okay? Make sure that's all good and mixed in. And you see I have, it looks like sand, okay? And it's really cold. It's still very cold, okay? All right, the next thing, I got a mess. The next thing we're gonna do is go ahead with some ice water. You see I have plenty of ice water here, and we're gonna just start adding it. And I like to go at least 6 at a time. Now this is going to vary depending on where you live and how humid it is or how dry it is. It's definitely going to vary. So you I always start off with 6, and it depends on the time of the year. So if you live in a really dry climate, then you may have to add more water. But if you live in a more climate that's like, what is it, humid, got moisture in the air, you may have to add less. So pay attention. You just want it to come together. Gotta get some ice. Keep adding. I'm not kneading it. I'm not doing nothing crazy. I'm really just tossing it in the bowl, and I'll show you again here. No kneading, just really just tossing it, trying to handle it as little as possible. And you can see that it's already starting to come together. And you just add, you keep adding. This is not what is it called? It's not a marathon. It's not a marathon.
Not a sprint.
Not a sprint. Not a sprint. What's slower, a marathon or a sprint?
Marathon is slow.
So it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. It's a marathon.
You have a lot of people saying hello.
Hey, everybody.
Just the butter. That's a good idea.
Yeah, it saves you. Let me tell y'all. Anytime. Let me put some more water in this. It's making me mad. Anytime I'm making a pie and I don't grate it and I go in with the little cubes and press all the cubes, that night, my hands are like on fire. My wrists are on fire. My arms hurt. All of it. It's just all bad for real. So I learned to do that. I'll take a little bit of the knuckle buster, the pain from that. I'll take that rather than not be able to get any sleep. All right, so this is probably going to be our last 6. And again, this may vary for y'all, so y'all got to watch it. I'm going to show you what you need to end up with, and then y'all get there on the best road you can. Okay? All right, so my dough, oh yeah, we're good. So now you see it coming together. See? All I'm doing is tossing it. Okay, got some flour down in there, and that's going to work for our good. Trust me. Now, the next thing we're going to do, and this is where a lot of people get too happy about it, is we're going to dump this on our bench, and we are only going to bring it together, y'all. A light dusting of flour, a light dusting, not heavy, because we right where we need to be. So if you got any left over, and then we're just going to dump this out. And you see, that's all butter, y'all. Bring it all back in. And now we're just going to press it. Press. Don't go in like you making bread or pasta. Just press it all in. Okay, press it down, bring it in, and now we have a really good pie crust. Don't overdo it. Do not. Y'all gonna mess it up. Don't do it. Now and you can already see. I'm gonna see if I can get it to do it. I might not be able to do it, but I can always do it like this. You can already see, let me do it this way. Okay. You can already see the flakes. See? Already got it nice and flaky. That's it. We're not going to do nothing else to this. We're going to split this in 2. And we going in like grandma did. Old school. Your hands. Okay. I always do a little more for my top than my bottom, but I feel like I got way too much over here. And now we have 2 pieces of pie crust. I'm not making a really big pie, and I'm making mine in a cast iron, y'all. Okay, so we have these 2 pieces. These are going to go into the refrigerator until we are ready for them as we make our pie, filling.
You know the king of pie.
My brother Jamie. My brother Jamie is on my life. Let me tell you. Man, my brother Jamie is like, he has studied like a sensei. He is the pie ninja. My brother's peach cobbler, I have given up. I have honestly, I'm just going to rock my own world. Like I'm not even going to try to make his peach cobbler no more. I've come so close. But until somebody can eat mine and eat his and be like, I don't know which one is it, I'm done. Like my brother's peach cobbler is the bomb.
They had me hooked to your family.
Yeah, I think that's really why Charles married me, is for my brother's peach cobbler, not because he loved me. He tasted that pie one time, and like the next month I had a ring. I honestly had a ring for real. His pie is amazing. It really is. That's always something that I look forward to when I go home.
What's the idea that you wrap it?
All right, so the reason why we wrap the pie crust and set it in the refrigerator is because we did work the flour a little bit. So you want it to rest, kind of like right now it wants to do this, and that's what you don't want it to do. You want it to kind of relax. You don't want that gluten to get all happy. You don't want it to seize up. You don't want that. Anytime you are making a pie or of any kind, even with your biscuits, if you find that when you go to roll, your pie crust wants to come back and it's like, no, I don't want to do that. That's a problem. It's going to be hard, and you don't want that. That means that you've activated that gluten, and now you kind of got it's going to be really like cracker, right? Like cracker. So we don't want a cracker on top of our pie. We want nice and flaky. So these go into the refrigerator, and let me wipe down real quick so we can get our filling going. Put these in the freezer. All right, so when it comes to fillings, I mean, of course, if you're I'm so used to. Sorry, y'all. I'm used to talking for a class. I'm so sorry, y'all. When it comes to fillings, I mean, you could put whatever you want to in your filling, and you can actually add whatever you want to your pie crust. Like I've done peach cobbler, and you guys saw me on the show on MasterChef where we were making I made the peach tartare. The peach tartare, and I put thyme and pecans in my crust.
I thought you were exempt from that one.
No, I did the tartare, definitely. Aron said that we ran out of peaches because I used them all.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
That was my strategy. Everybody was running to the peaches. No. No. It's like it wasn't a strategy. I just grabbed them all. So I'm going to show you guys some really cool things here. So when it comes to the filling, if I'm going to compare my filling with my brother's filling, this is where we probably differ a little bit, but not too much. I think we differ on the amounts and not necessarily the actual ingredients. There's two things that I have used in the past that I know that my brother probably didn't use, but this is what I do, and maybe this is the difference. This may be the difference. Really, I'm not sure. So the first thing we're going to do is we are starting off with canned peaches. I don't want to hear it. Don't even send me no message talking about, oh, I can't believe Chef Dorian is making with canned peaches. Yes, I am. I am making it with canned peaches. It saves me a ton of time. I don't have to poach, peel, or pit natural peaches. And not only that, they're not in season right now. So they're not at their best. So canned peaches are perfectly okay, y'all. They're okay. So I usually start off with one of these size cans. This would be a regular large can, not a tin can. A tin can of peaches. That's normally what we use when we make our peaches. That's what my mom used, and I believe that's what my brother uses also. This size can. It's the larger can of sliced peaches, right? And it's up to you. You want them in heavy syrup, you want it in whatever, juice, whatever, that's up to you. I usually get mine in heavy syrup. We always use this. I always use this. Right. Now, I don't know if Jamie, anytime we buy it for Jamie to make, I always buy this.
Did you buy those last time?
I believe so. If I didn't, I was half asleep because that was birthday time. So ain't no telling what I did then, for real. So we're going to go ahead and turn on our induction, and I'm using this pan so that you guys can actually see it. Am I under there? So that you guys can see it. You can definitely, oh yeah, perfect.
Now, I do remember my grandmother buying Del Monte, or what's the other brand?
Del Monte or the gold one? The gold brand? I don't know. Oh, I only know Del Monte. I know Walmart. The only reason why I say not Walmart, Dole.
Yeah.
Dole and Del Monte are the best. The only reason why I say an off-brand or a store brand is not the best is because it has a lot of whole pieces in there. Like they're random. They're not uniform. And that can create a problem if you're trying to get a uniform pie. And not only that, but there's more liquid than there is actual peaches, I've found. Now, I could be wrong, but that's what I found. 1 can goes in. Now, I taught this class. Remember, we taught this class before. And for the class, we actually added Crown Royal. We're not going to add any Crown Royal to this one because we're going to give it to them straight. I'm going to tell you when to add the Crown Royal if you want to do that, but we're not going to add Crown Royal to this today. Now, the next thing is the Crown. Now, when I say we added Crown Royal, I'm saying we added Crown Royal, but you do not taste the alcohol. Like you cook off all the alcohol. So if y'all looking to get turned up on a Crown Royal peach cobbler, that's not this. We're not doing that. Now you can make a sauce. Where you do taste some of the alcohol if you want to.
James said the peaches are not the same.
They are not. They are not the same. So the next thing, this is where we differ. This is where me and Jamie kind of differ, and I'm very aware of this. I use vanilla beans, and I use vanilla sugar.
Your own vanilla sugar.
My own vanilla sugar, right. So I don't think the average person is going to use vanilla beans or vanilla sugar, and I'm going to show y'all what my vanilla sugar looks like. I've been babying this sugar for years, and I'm telling you, it's what I use for high-end desserts normally. That's just boiling, it's a steam. I'm like, what is that? And this is what I usually put into my my peach cobbler. So I go in with 3 vanilla beans, and mine may be heavy on the flavor of vanilla versus Jamie's, and that may be what the difference is, maybe. I don't know. It's probably, and not only that, but my brother, this is where your personality and your spirit goes into food, because my Jamie has, my Jamie, oh, that was so sweet. My brother Jamie has a lot of personality, and he really does have a sweet spirit. So we're going to go in and put those vanilla bean pods, the seeds into our peaches that are now cooking. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do 2 because I am using quite a bit of the vanilla sugar.
Now, where do you go to get your vanilla beans?
I go straight to Amazon. We go to the same spot on Amazon, though. We always order from the exact same place on Amazon. So these are grade A Madagascar vanilla beans. So anytime you order vanilla beans off of Amazon, always get grade A. Grade B is okay, but grade A is the best. So always get that. Okay?
And when you do this, do you save your pods?
Yes, I do, and I'm going to show you where it goes into my vanilla sugar. It goes into my vanilla sugar. All right, so we cleaned out the pods. And I know a lot of people would throw these pods away, but that's money. And not only that, but anytime you are using fresh, bona fide vanilla and not vanilla, processed vanilla, I know somebody asked last week about pricing. It makes the price of your item go up at least $1. At least $1, because these are not cheap. The next thing, I'm going to show y'all my vanilla sugar. This is my vanilla sugar, and what I've been doing over the years is with all of my vanilla pods that I use, these pods that I use here, they go into this container of vanilla, and what they do is they dry out. Once this container gets full of pods, I take said vanilla from where the pods start, and I put it into a blender. and I blend up the dried pods. And see, there's some, now look at them. You could almost eat that like candy if you wanted to. But if you look through here, that's all vanilla pods and vanilla sugar. So it really, when you open it, you can smell it. Like it's good for coffee, good for creme brulee. It is the bomb for creme brulee. So we're going to take out these little pods I wanted to show y'all, and we're going to use some of this sugar. And because we're not using, making a big pie, I'm going to use a half a cup of my vanilla sugar. A little more because I'm just me. And this is my pie. And those pods go right back into there. I make sure that the new pods are good and covered.
So why don't the stores sell?
You know, it would be expensive. They do. They sell, some places you can get vanilla sugar, but it's expensive. I mean, those pods cost a lot of money. Nutmeg, fresh, always freshly ground. I like to use freshly ground nutmeg in all of my.
James said that is ingenious. With
The vanilla. Yeah, it costs. Them pods cost a lot of money.
I'm saying, use it, I can smell it.
Right? You can smell it. It's very strong. Some nutmeg. And of course, cinnamon. And we are going to go in with some butter. Now, this is where my brother also, he wasn't telling me how much butter he was using. He was using a lot of butter. And I'm like trying to be modest on the butter. And he was going in heavy with it. And I was not. So I'm going in with a cup because I'm using, well, actually a cup and a half because I'm making a small pie, but I know Jamie's pies are a lot bigger than what I normally make. And then also a little leftover sugar. And then also, I don't have any fresh lemon, so we improvising today. I got some crystallized lemon. It's good. I love this. I want to find it in a bigger, you know, a bigger thing. I love crystallized lemon, and it's just a tad. We're going to melt this.
How are you out of lemons?
I don't know. I'm out. I wasn't about to go back out.
Between butter and lemons. That's
Right. That's been my, I always use a lot. So a lot of people I know also, when they make their slurry, they make it, if you want a clear, well, this isn't clear anymore, but if you want a clear pie, you would use cornstarch, right, to thicken this. Because this is going to get extremely thick. We're going to thicken it up quite a bit. You would use cornstarch. But for a traditional cobbler, you are going to use flour for your slurry. And I'm going to show you guys how to make your slurry. Now, I'm going to make this really thick because I'm going to put another can of uncooked peaches in here, and that's going to even everything out. You want to over-season this part. Over-season this part because you will be putting in another can of peaches. Now, you can double this recipe if you want to. All of that, you're just gonna double it. We make those big. Jamie makes those big, huge pans of peach cobbler, or roaster pans of peach cobbler. So his is always doubled.
like, how do you make two big things of that?
And it don't make it past the driveway.
Right.
It's crazy. Because we greedy. All right, we're going to add just a little bit of salt to even out all of my sugar and my spices. Just a little bit.
The last time we made it in Ohio, somebody didn't get some. It was just juice left.
That's Celeste. Celeste didn't get none.
I think you ended up giving her some of your
Yeah, I gave her some of mine. So this is it already looks so good. Let's go ahead. You got to give it a taste. Oh, I should do it. It's so good. I feel like I need more sugar though. I'll add regular sugar. I don't want to go in too heavy on my vanilla sugar. Yeah. I added a half a cup of vanilla sugar, and now I'm adding another half a cup of sugar. We're going to let that melt, and then we're going to go ahead and thicken it up. Oh, it tastes so buttery and rich. I think I might have it this time. I'm like, no, you don't. All right, so now
You know all that does is just make him go back in the kitchen.
right, do it again. Like now you're going, don't be using no vanilla sugar. All right, so now that we have I'm going to turn this down some. We have our liquid boiling. Man, my hair is getting crazier and crazier the longer this goes on. Sorry, y'all. Now that let me get my hands off my hair. I'm getting ready for this pie. All right, so now that we have our peach cobbler boiling, we're going to make the slurry. And what I do is I take the juice from said second can. Oh, it's okay if a peach falls in there. And then I add flour to it until I get it to the thickness that I want. Okay? Because remember, we want that kind of thick. Okay? Is that 4?
Yeah, why didn't you take the peach out?
It's okay. It's fine. This is my pie. We're going to stir that up. If you have a whisk. And you see how thick I want this really thick. And to me, personally, I don't care about the lumps. I really don't. If you have any, don't be overly concerned about lumps with this because they're going to all cook up. They're going to cook away. And if they don't, what I found is I've run into people who've made this pie before, made a peach cobbler, and it had like little dumplings in it. I don't mind that. Not me. I mean, maybe somebody else do, but.
I want the crust dumpling.
So this is what goes in almost to the thickness of a batter thickness. And then now you want to cook that away. You want to cook it, let it get thick. And if you need more.
So where did this dessert come from?
I don't know. I'm sure it didn't look like this. I mean, look.
I mean, but this peach cobbler is...
Oh, for us or for?
It's a staple in African American.
It is. It's a big, I'm sure it's something that was passed down from place to place and it was done in different ways. Definitely Georgia, right? Because they used to be the peach capital. But now not so much because they now manufacture more blueberries than they do peaches. All right, so y'all see that this is nice and thick. Nice and thick, and you can see the bubble on it. Now what we're going to do is add the rest of our uncooked peaches. Okay? Yeah. And you can see the difference in the color when you think about Jamie's, the difference in the color of mine because I use that vanilla sugar. And y'all see all those little bits of vanilla pod in mine? That's what that is, vanilla.
James is a little bit more clearer.
It's a lighter. Yeah. It's lighter because he uses vanilla flavoring, and I'm using that vanilla sugar. All right? So, y'all, that's it. I don't think I'm going to put this other little peach in here. I don't think we need anything else. Okay. Now remember, when the pie is baking, all these peaches are going to juice and it's going to thin out our cobbler, but I really do love a thick, I like a thick filling on my cobbler. All right, no more cooking for this. All right. Y'all, if y'all haven't gotten your copy of Chef Dorian's cookbook, Not Your Average Southern Side Chick, you can go to chefdorian.com to get your copy. See her sitting back there? She was like, when you going to say something about me? Girl, I just did. All right, now, we're going to grab our pie crust, and we're about to get it going for real. I am baking in a cast iron skillet because I absolutely love the way that it looks. I do. I love the rustic look of a cast iron skillet in a peach cobbler. And you can also, if you wanted to, and if you had one, even if you don't, you can do it on a regular grill too, but Traeger's grills work really well with cast iron baking, I can tell you. And I've baked plenty of peach cobblers on the grill. And that extra flavor of that smoke really does work very well. So if you have a Traeger, by all means, try it out. Pie crust is nice and cold. It's very cold. It's not hard because we just made it, and that's fine. We're not going to overwork it. Make sure that it's good and covered and that your bench is nice and covered. Make sure that your desk handle leg is good and covered. And I know a lot of people like to go in and do this. You do not want to do that. You want to go in one position and give it a quarter turn. Go in another position, turn it, another quarter turn, just back and forth. Take your time. It's going to happen. No need to rush the process. You got to trust it. If it sticks a little bit, just use what you got. And then if you can, I don't know if y'all can see it or not, but you can see the butter. It's kind of, can you see that? You can see the little specks of butter in there. That's perfect. Okay? And when it starts to flake off, I know I've achieved what I wanted to. This is going to be an amazing crust. Okay? And I just need it big enough for that's about a 10-inch.
See, I need a 3-to-1 ratio of crust to
Charles is, yeah. Good thing this is my pie. Because I'm not picky at all. Y'all would think because I'm around food all the time and I'm cooking all the time and I'm traveling and cooking for people that I would be a very picky eater. I am not. Charles will tell you, I don't like going to the restaurant. I don't think I've ever ordered chicken at a nice restaurant or anything like that. Like, I never go in wanting the exact same thing. I think that you should really want the experience of said place. Oh, we're good. We are good. So now that we have our pie crust, our bottom, because remember, we're making a pie, not a cobbler, you want to go ahead and roll it up. And so that we don't have any issue, I'm going to give the opposite side a nice little dusting so it don't stick. Leave that there. Grab your cast iron or your pie pan, whichever one you have, and go ahead and layer out. Okay. Put this back here while we fiddle with her a little bit. Put her down in there and make sure that she's up against the walls of the cast iron. No need to butter this for me. Excuse me, y'all. No need to butter this because we have plenty of butter in there, but you can if you want to. It's really not going to make a difference. And I do not blind bake my crust, and they always seem fine. Cast iron retains a lot of heat, so we don't have to really worry about that. I got my oven set on 375. Okay. Now you would think that I would go around and cut my dough, and I'm not, because I need that for the crimping, and then I'll cut it after crimping. I am going to aerate it so that we do get even baking, but I don't blind bake. If you blind bake, that's totally up to you, but I don't blind bake. I guess I should, but I don't. I do not. All right, lean that over. We're going to bring in our filling. It smells so good. I want some peaches. We're really a juice family, right? You think? We're more of a juicy pie versus no, we're juice and crust.
No, I'm crust.
Like, you don't want the juice, though?
I'm crust and a little bit of roux.
Wow. Y'all hear him?
I could care for the peaches. I don't really care for that.
I'm not talking about the peaches. I'm talking about the juice. You were calling it a roux. Being bougie. All right. So we have this. We have this one all ready to go. The next is the top part. Just grab it out the freezer. This is our second piece, and this is our top. I don't think I'm going to rock a lattice. I think I'm going to do a traditional top. Lattice tops might take too long. Okay. And again, with the top part, quarter turn, same thing. This looks absolutely beautiful. Y'all, Bailey want to come in, and she out there like banging on the door. I need more flour, y'all. I don't know who wears her or Mia. All right, keep it going. Quarter turn. We don't want to overwork it. I think the most important part to any pie, you could almost get away with the filling not being 100%, but if the crust is messed up, it's a bust. Like, it's just not cool. All right, and it don't have to be perfectly round because we're going to cut some of this off once we lay it on. We just need it big enough to go over the top. All right, same concept for the top that it was for the bottom. We're going to go ahead and dust it. Bring this in. When I used to work at the bakery, this was my favorite part of making pies. Crimping. I was a crimp queen. You hear me? The crimp queen. So you want your top, and it would fold in when I said that. You want your top to meet your bottom. Go all the way around. Pinch it in. Okay? This is what I do. I don't know what nobody else do, but this is what I do. Okay? All right. Now, I go back and I judge where's the smallest part. This is it. And then I take my fingers, tuck it, and then I seal it onto said pan or whatever you're using. Take it, tuck it, and then I'm rubbing my finger across pan and crust. And you see how it's even right there? Can you see that? Now, where there's really long pieces, then that's where I'll cut. Okay? Take and tuck. Take and tuck. And I'm cleaning up the pan as I go. When I'm done, all of that extra crust around here is going to be gone. And I'm just going around the pie. Y'all know how to crimp. Y'all already done this a million times.
Extra crust.
Extra crust, that's right. Extra crust. If I feel that it's too much, then I'll just go ahead and cut it off. But I never cut before I start this process. Never do that. All the way around. And if you have some places that are not as thick as other ones, you can always go by and add those remnants to it. Okay? Take and tuck. Now, we're tucking it. I know it looks crazy right now, but again, trust the process. Oh, that's going to be fine. Oh, boy. Now, we got the crimp all the way around. Now what I like to do, and this is just my pet peeve, if you don't want to do it, that's totally up to you. What I do is I go around and I fill it for any thin parts, because what will happen is that part of the crust will bake quicker than any other part. And I'm just filling it and using that crust. It looks crazy now, but trust me, it's going to look beautiful in the end. All right. Now, wipe my hands off. Now, the crimp part. I love what I call a sunflower. That means that when I'm done, it should look like a sunflower at the top. So what I do is I do this. Thumb up on this hand, duck on this hand, duck eats fish. Let's say that. Duck eats fish. Thumb up, duck eats fish. Okay, so here we go. And this is still kind of wet, so let's do this. Let's start over. All right, so. Okay. Okay. Now we went around it that one time. Nice. Now what we're going to do is go back and define those crimps by going in and out of each crimp with your fingers, pinching the crimps on the inside. I know, it's not being extra, it's just making it pretty. It's a pie. It's supposed to look good. I know people saying this is why we'll never make you a pie, ever. I don't require this. I'm just doing this for y'all. Remember that time I asked Michelle Pritchett to make me a pie, and she was like, no. And then I made an apple pie, and she was like, that's just why I wouldn't do it. Look at all that extra crap you got on that pie. It had leaves and all kinds of stuff on it. Too much. All right, so we're going around, and there. We got our pie. Now, when this bakes, all of this stuff around the edges will come off. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead, see how I clean that up. We're going to go ahead and brush this with a little egg wash. And when your grandma made peach cobbler, did she put pats of butter on it? On the top?
I was never in the kitchen.
Oh. You was just there after the after for the after? Oh,
The
okay.
only thing I was in the kitchen for was to make the cake balls.
Wow.
'Cause we used to fight over this.
Wow. All right, so we're gonna
She
brush
probably did do it, though.
brush it with a little bit of egg wash. Now my mom never did this. She never brushed with egg wash, but she did put cinnamon sugar on top.
I think that's a technique that y'all have picked up.
I don't think Jamie do this either.
I don't think my grandma would have did this.
What, brush it with egg wash
Yeah,
to make it pretty.
yeah, 'cause you wasting eggs.
Wow. Well, that is true. Eggs was. Hey, I ain't even mad at her. I don't go in heavy. I just dibble and dab it so that some of it can, glisten. Not all of it, just some. All right. So then the next part is little pats of butter. Y'all like more butter? Yes. More butter. And just some small pats of butter.
Yeah, I definitely know she didn't do that.
Put butter on top?
Maybe she did, I don't know.
Yeah. Little pats of butter. And I know y'all like it. She gonna vent it? Yes, got to. Gotta vent it.
Other than you, Jamie, my Aunt Maxine, and my grandma, that's all.
That bake?
No, that.
Make it?
I knew that made my child.
Oh, okay.
I made my Italian.
Oh, okay.
I have to give the nod to Jamie right now.
But yeah, Jamie's definitely the winner.
But
A little sugar? Well, you live with me. You get mine more. You.
I get Jamie's one, I get yours.
That's true. Look. Now, this will go into the oven until it's nice and brown. Keep your eye on it. You don't have to watch it forever. But once it's nice and brown and bubbly, vent it. I forgot to vent it. Once it's nice, brown, and bubbly, you are perfectly okay to, there we go. Take it out, let it sit. Don't go into it too quick. Let it sit, and you have a pie.
How long?
I would say probably about 30 minutes, 30, 45 minutes. This is a small one, so not long. All right, hopefully our pie will be done by the time I'm done showing y'all this next thing. I want to show them real quick. Is people still on? Okay. So the other day, you guys saw that Mia was eating, I forget the name of it.
Jamie said melted. More butter. Is it melted?
No, he melt the butter. He melt his butter. I just put pats
Okay.
and pour it over top. That's why
Jamie
his,
says he brushed his with butter.
yeah.
And then Nicole said I love more juice and crust than peaches.
Yeah, most definitely. Most definitely. Is it under there? Is it under there?
Yes.
All right. So the other day, you guys saw Mia eating the Tangaloo. That's the strawberries covered in sugar. And a lot of you guys reached out and asked, how do you do that? I've never seen that before. Oh man, that crunch. So I'm going to show you guys how to make it really quick. It doesn't take long at all. And it is so good. I'm going to show you guys the recipe that I use. I don't know what anybody else is using. It doesn't make an enormous amount of syrup, but it makes enough to cover quite a few strawberries. So let's go ahead and get into it. And this will be a twofer.
You got your strawberries?
Yes, I do. They're over there. This will be a 2 video. Yes or no?
You want the second video?
Yeah. Can it?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So then that way we're good.
Just let me know when you want me to start.
Okay. Okay, go. All right, so the other day, Mia was eating the Tangaloo on the live yesterday on Facebook. And a lot of you guys reached out and you wanted to know how to make it. So I'm going to show you very quickly how to make this amazing, quick, simple, kid-friendly dessert. All right, here we go. So in a small sauce pot, you are going to add 1 cup of sugar. And this can also be done in the microwave, and it works out the same. You are going to do it in 30-second pulses. Then you're going to add 3/4 cup of corn syrup, light corn syrup, and then just enough water, probably about 1/4 cup of water to make it sandy and to get it to bubble. I'm going to put my induction on medium-high. And we're going to cook this sugar until it is amber, a beautiful color of light amber. Once it hits light amber, we know that it's at the hard crack stage. That is where you want your sugar to be, a light amber at the hard crack stage. And the reason being is because you want that amazing crunch. That is the whole premise of this amazing candy. And these are very popular in Japan. And they do mandarins, grapes, and strawberries is what I've seen thus far. Okay. You don't want to stir in the sugar too much, but you do want to make sure that all of the sugar is mixed in so that it comes off as wet. If you don't, what happens is that the sugar will start to melt, but then it will try to go back into its crystallized state, or you'll have just big clumps of uncooked sugar in your syrup. This is hot, so this part of it you want to do. There you go. This is hot, so this part you want to do by yourself, and then let the kids come in and enjoy the candy later. Or if you have older kids like Mia, you can allow them to come in and kind of dip the the fruit in the sugar. But you definitely want to be watchful because it is extremely hot. The one thing that I liked about this the other day when we had it is that after the, of course, when the fruit hits the hot sugar, it begins to extract juice. And that juice gets caught in the covering of sugar. So when you bite into it, it is absolutely amazing. I've eaten so many of these, it's ridiculous. It's so good. You gotta try it? You're gonna try it today. It's good. It's really good. So it's merely just cooking the sugar. So to prep your fruit, and I've already cleaned my strawberries off. I've already cleaned off my strawberries. I like to leave the leaves on mine because I just think it looks better. Normally, when you see this, other people make it, they will cut the leaves off and then stack two on, so you get two on one stick. But I like the way that the one stick looked, and I just go straight down into the stem, right down into the actual stem part, and that's where it's toughest, and I go all the way up, and I like to use a thicker stick. You can see my sugar is already melting. Take out my spatula here, and we're just going to let that go. The bubbles are really rapid right now. Once those bubbles start to slow down, come down, and you'll also see the steam kind of go away, we know that it's starting to get close. Okay? So while that's doing that, I'm going to go ahead and get my strawberries ready. I'm going to lay mine on a silk pad. If you don't have a silk pad, you can definitely use a cookie sheet covered in oil or butter, oil or butter, to make sure that your candy, strawberries or fruit don't stick. I want to get the best ones, the biggest ones. No need to stir in your sugar anymore. You're just looking for the color. Y'all can see me looking for like the biggest strawberries possible. I've been wanting to make this for a minute, but I'm like, it's all over TikTok. This isn't something that's like brand new or something that I came up with. It's all over TikTok, and I just wasn't like, sugar and candy, it probably tastes okay. Man, I bit into that first strawberry or the grapes we made one night. They were absolutely amazing. So I was like, ooh, let me try the strawberries. And now I'm looking over there at the mandarin oranges, those cuties, and I'm thinking if I got enough syrup, I'm definitely going to do one of those oranges so I can see what it tastes like. So you can see the steam.
Can you do this with pineapples?
Yes, you can do it with pineapples. You see that too a lot on TikTok too. People using Jolly Ranchers and melting them down. It's the same thing. It's just a different form of sugar that they're using. You can do it with pineapples, the exact same thing. So if you were going for what you see them making, you would make this syrup and then you would add your coloring to it and flavoring. That's what they're doing. Or you could take Jolly Ranchers, pulse them in the microwave and get them to melt, and then dip grapes or said fruit, whatever you want to.
What about
You can do a pick. Look, let me tell you. I will tell you everything that they dipping in this syrup. They are dipping in candy apple syrup is what it is. I have seen pig lips. I've seen pickles, kiwi, pineapple, grapes, everything. Anything you can put on a stick or you can get in and out quick enough, you can do it with that. Yep. So I got some baby pickles in here. Want to do one? Yeah, let's do a baby pickle. Y'all, we about to do a baby pickle. I got some gherkins in the, we always got to be weird. I got some gherkins in the refrigerator, and we gonna put some gherkins in the juice. See what it tastes like. Can't never be normal. What do you think it's going to taste like?
I'm hoping it's salty and sweet.
Got our little gherkins here. We're going to do them first. We're going to do our little gherkins first. All right. So if you're looking at your sugar, you can already see the bubbles have slowed down. We no longer have any steam. So that means that we are totally cooking sugar right now. Sugar and corn syrup. You can add flavoring to this. If you were to do that, you would take it off the heat and add that. Not while it's on the heat. You don't want it to, it'll kind of rush it, so you don't want that to happen. But I do not use thermometers, candy thermometers. I am an old school type of a person. I believe in using your eye and just being able to know when to say when. So if you want temperatures, I can get you that, but I don't use thermometers. I have them, but I don't use them, which maybe I should start. I don't know. But I love using my eye. Nothing beats your eye unless you got bad sight, like me. I'm getting there. But as you can see, the bubbles are slowed down even more, and we aren't quite at that amber color yet. We're getting there. But as soon as you see it turning a little bit brown, you want to go ahead and take it off, because once it starts, it don't stop. So you got to take it off, okay? Now, if you wanted to, other than, dipping these pickles in it, you could add like a little pinch of salt to the dry and then cook it, and it'll be fine. But, I mean, that's totally up to you. I think that all depends on what it is that you are actually dipping into the syrup. Let me take a look at my pie. It looks so good. It looks so pretty right now, y'all. I'll have to take pictures of it, and you'll have to see it on YouTube. But it is so beautiful. Oh, it's so cute. It's really cute, more than beautiful. All right, so I see now, if you guys look right here, you can see it is wanting to turn, it's getting there, but not just yet. Not just yet. It's getting there. We're almost there. You want it to be a very light amber, and I think we are. See how quick y'all see how quick that turned? And the bubbles are definitely slowing down. They're doing their thing, and I'm actually, there we go. All right, so there we are. I want to make sure our pickles are good and dry. We don't want any liquid in there. Yep, there we are. Turn off my heat. Y'all see that? Nice. There it is. That's what we want. You want that color. All right. So y'all can hear it's hot too. All right. So what we're going to do, take said pickle, and we're just going to dunk. Make sure it's good and covered. Oh, that looks weird. Oh my God. That's not camera ready. Okay. Hold on. Mine is staying. It's not staying. The candy is not staying on this pickle. I don't know what I did wrong, but we got some of it on there. Let's do our strawberries. Pickle's not, I don't know if you got to wash them or what. But anyway, here's our strawberries.
Did you pat the pickles
I
dry?
did pat the pickles dry. That's God saying, yeah, don't do that.
You should do it.
It's a little bit on there. You could try that. Okay. And as you can see, nice. That's beautiful.
So is this a new craze?
It's not new. It's new to us. It's not new at all. It is something that has always been, but it's just now.
I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen it?
No, I'm saying it.
No,
Was
I
that
mean,
something that they were,
did your mom and them not? My mom used to always make candy.
no.
My mom made hardtack candy, candy apples. Candy apples were her thing.
Candy apples, but
Yeah. Same thing. It's the same stuff. It's just clear. And you get to actually see the fruit.
do that long. Yeah.
This long one, let me pat it dry. Okay. Get it good and dry. trying to get it good and dry. Let's see if this one do it. Yep. Maybe it was just too hot. Perfect. You gotta let it cool off. Let me do this one again. You hear it cooking, that's why I say you gotta be careful. Yeah, with your babies. Oh man, this one, I think it's going to the left. It's limp. It's going to the left, that's why. All right, so this one is done. And it happens really quick. It gets hard really fast. So you can, look, go ahead, Charles. I wish you would be on camera and try it.
Nope.
I'm going to try. This one is all messed up. It's still hot?
Like a Jolly Rancher type.
It's hard. Yeah. So this is it. But you got to bite to me. I'll do it. Go ahead and try it. Y'all hear that crunch? I don't want to eat this one. It looks weird. How is it?
That's good.
Let's see.
Like a Jolly Rancher.
Put me on.
Oh, that's really good.
Let's see. I want to say thick. That's very good. The salty, that is really good. That's really good. The pickle is not bad, but the strawberries are the absolute best. And you can see that they juice very well. I'm gonna try this one.
Somebody said, let's hear the crunch.
Oh, here we go. 1, 2, 3. No. It's so good.
Really?
Y'all, it's so simple. Why is it so good? It might be because, you know what? It might be because I've been without sugar for a while. But this is amazing. Ooh. Here.
Let's hear it.
It's very good. Y'all. If y'all try this, I'm telling you, you will not be disappointed. I don't know how we're going to do the little pin thing, but,
What?
oh, we're using my regular one.
Really?
Are y'all, can y'all hear me slurping? It's so good. Like, why is that so good? Okay, I'm done. Oh. I'm like a kid right now. For real. I needed that. That's a happy place for me. And I think it's a happy place for you too. That was very good. Can't overdo it, but man, me happy when she see these. All right, so let's check on our pie. Look at that. Can you see that?
Can you, is it too much for you to?
Pull it out.
No. Leave it there. Can you leave it down? See, just bring it down. See? Yeah. Perfect. All right.
The crimps are holding up. Looks absolutely amazing. It's beautiful. Pie came out great. Again, you guys will see the full results on YouTube. Any questions? Anything?
I don't think there's any questions.
No questions, just comments.
No.
Oh, sorry. You weren't supposed to be on me. No, it's so good.
No questions.
No questions? Okay. All right, y'all. Thank y'all for coming over and watching us celebrate National Pie Day. I can't wait to dig into this pie. And I'm going to go right in the middle of it. So for all of you who have anxiety over people digging out the middle of a pie, I'm about to set you off. All right, y'all. Until next time, what I say to one, I say to all, watch, pray. Be great. Live holy every day. In Jesus' name, amen. Y'all, eat, love, be blessed, and trust the process. See you till next time.